There's my friend. What's going on, dude?
My friend, good to see you, brother.
Welcome back. How have you been? I haven't spoken to you for so long, and that's because of everything. The world, quarantine, life, love, family, priorities, and creativity. And I just want to know, how's your world?
My world is beautiful. I took a nice little break. I filmed a movie, and then when it was time to get back in the studio, I was like, okay, I want to do this differently than I ever did it before. I want to just work with people that, are my friends first, and people that, like I build like intimate relationships with, and I want to do it like in an intimate way. So I became close with Scott Harris, who's a frequent collaborator of Sean's. And I was like, hey, do you want to write together? And it started off, he and I in my bedroom in my house in Miami. And then we brought it over to LA, and we brought along Mike Sabbath and Ricky Reed. And then we
Ricky
made this
Reed's
song.
on fire right now. Ricky Reed is making amazing music right now.
I know. And I love him so much. He's become like my studio dad, and Scott and Mike are like my studio brothers.
Wow, that's great. And that's why you sound so free on this. And what's really beautiful and incredibly immediate about it is it very much speaks to who you are as a human, to your family, to the origin of your family.
You think I sound like a party like that? Is that what you're trying to say?
100% stand by it. No, I just think, it's clear to me that, as far as the tree will grow, that you seem to have further identified your roots through your music, and you seem to be going there.
Totally. Well, I love being Latin, and I love, I think especially, I feel like before COVID, I was just feeling I was feeling kind of like I'd been working for so long with no real break.
Displaced? Displaced a bit?
Just lost, and struggling, not gonna lie. Like, I had been working since I was like 15. I was like really struggling with my mental health, and I think that just like there was like a combination of like burnout and just like I don't know, I wasn't feeling great. And I think like when I was kind of like emergency flown from the movie back to Miami for a few months, I was a little bit like, obviously it was a terrible thing, but I think for my personal life and like my brain, it was really good to slow down. And so I was like, oh, this is, I don't know. I was just kind of like learned how to be like, I think a human, and develop like interests and passions like outside of the studio and outside of music and outside of like, of that. And I think that brought me really close to just being like, brought me really close to my family.
I wonder how that's changed the shape of music for you.
Huge.
Yeah, exactly. Because like when you're making music in the moment and you're in the middle of that success, all those constructs start to attach themselves to that experience. And then what you make is influenced by what you hope to achieve. When you let go of that, it completely changes it, right?
First and foremost, I was like, I just want to connect today, like with the people in this room. And I think that really showed itself in the music. Like I formed friendships that I feel like, with Scott and Mike and Ricky, like they're like my homies now. Like I want to have dinner with them. You know what I mean? I want to go out with them. And I remember like just in sessions, like I really am vocal about how I feel. Like if I'm feeling nervous or if I'm feeling like I'm struggling with something, I'm like, hey, can I work this out loud? Like I think it really is like like a therapy session for me in terms of like being able to be free. And like I think that creates intimacy between people, and it almost is like if you kind of personify a song, it creates intimacy between you and the music. You know what I mean?
Totally. Well, each one of those songs and those moments attach themselves to your evolution, to what you're trying to achieve. It gets out of the imaginary space and it becomes very much a form of manifestation almost.
Exactly. And I think like this album for me was like a manifestation. Like the name of my album is Familia. And I think I was like really manifesting. I was really inspired by when I don't know if you saw Se Tangana's Tiny Desk.
No, I haven't.
Shout out to Se Tangana because I'm a huge fan of his. And like in the tiny desk. He's basically doing the tiny desk at this dinner table, and he's got like a ton of people around him, and there's like half-eaten like food on the
Oh, I gotta
table.
see this.
And I was so inspired by that, and I was like, that's the life I'm trying to have. Like for me, it's like it's really become like not about, not about success, not about, obviously, like if you win with your friends, like that's incredible, but I think like it's really become about that kind of life for me. Like just like I think I was like really inspired by, I feel like when I was growing up and starting in this industry, like when I was 15, and also the messages that we get from the society are so like individualistic, like individual success, and like my name and my name and my name. And I feel like I
Well,
was
it's all a
like,
race, Camila. That's the thing. It's all this big kind of race to some sort of spot at the table. And it's like, wait, but who's at the table?
totally, exactly. And you don't want to be alone at the table, even if it's the fanciest and best table. And I think that was like what I really wanted to manifest is collective joy. I was like, I don't want to be alone on stage. I don't want to be alone, hopefully, doing the tiny desk. I want it to be like that kind of family affair, selfishly, because it would make me happy. It would make my life better. And that's what I want, So that's like really what I was trying to manifest, like with this whole album. And I think Don't Go Yet is just like, I think sonically and melodically, just me like being free, and like it really
Sounds like
letting,
freedom.
yeah, and letting myself feel joy and like collective joy. And also, yeah, I've been listening to like, I think like being in Miami for so long and like having more family around me and speaking Spanish more made me feel like, I don't know, just kind of brought me back, like brought like, I think my roots went deeper in a way that I really needed.